Hi, welcome to Moonbeam's Messages. This is a collective reading for Sun, Moon and Rising. If nothing in the reading resonates for you, please check your other placements. You may find a message within those. As always, if you do like the message, please like and subscribe. Hi, this is a collective finance reading for the sign of Leo. Now, it is a collective reading, so it will not resonate for everybody. Please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Now, along with that, I am not a financial advisor, so if you do want proper financial advice, please go and seek a qualified professional. These are simply some messages that Spirit would like to convey with regards to a current financial situation that the collective of Leo is currently facing. So, Spirit, can we get some cards for the current financial situation for the collective of Leo, please? Can we get some cards for the collective of Leo, please, Spirit? Two more, please, Spirit. Thank you. Okay, so your overall energy for the read, we've got the Five of Pentacles for you. Now, that Five of Pentacles is telling me that potentially your income or your situation may be something that could be influenced by something your parents may have done. So potentially you may be, how do we put it, maybe you're mirroring some sort of spending habits that your parents may have had, or saving habits. It does suggest that, you know, overall you do need to potentially revisit or look at your parents' money issues that they may have had. Maybe somebody was a big spender on things. Could have been a shopaholic, could have been, you know, spending money on other things. Might not have really had any money. Could have been, you know, alcohol, drugs, gambling, and you might have been really lacking finance as a kid. Could have also had lots of debt, you know, credit cards, loans, things like that. Now, obviously, a lot of parents don't particularly like talking about money because they are, you know, the older generations tend to find money as something very private. So if you do try and examine it and you try and get some information from them, they may shut you down because they don't want to talk about it. But just try and remember, you know, things from your childhood that, you know, you may be able to spot some things. If you look back hard enough, you'll be able to, you know, pick up little things that you might have spotted your parents doing. You know, maybe they were going hungry while they were feeding you. You know, maybe you never saw them eat a meal. Maybe, you know, your clothes might have got a hole in. You might have to wait till payday before they could get you something, to wear. You might have had, you know, sometimes there might have been a lot of sewing involved, trying to keep clothes together. You know, lots of hand-me-downs, that kind of thing. Would all generally point to, you know, a lack of money potentially. But always, you know, have a chat with your parents as well if it's something. Maybe you have had a chat with them. Maybe you're trying to work out how it is that how you can learn from what they've done potentially. Maybe you have had that chat, but if you haven't, it's suggesting that potentially you might want to sit down with your parents and just say, look, this is what is going on for you. Have they been in any sort of similar situation? Can they give you any advice? That you might be surprised with what advice they could potentially give you with regards to that, especially if they've been in the same situation, because they'll know what it's like. Now, in your current position, we have this Ten of Swords. Okay. Now, that Ten of Swords is suggesting that you may be a little bit obsessed over money, so you need to stop obsessing over it, and remember that it doesn't bring you happiness. So if you are currently you know, trying your hardest to make money, or just remember what it is that actually makes you happy, because spending money, whether it's on yourself, on other people, it doesn't make you happy. Okay, it's just a product of working, something that you need to survive generally. But it's the things that you spend the money on that make you happy, or sometimes things that you don't even spend money on that will make you happy. I mean, I don't know about I don't know how many of you have got children, but my son, just telling me jokes will make me happy, you know. Get lots of proud parent moments. Taking him to the park makes me happy. Seeing him smile makes me happy. I know a lot of you probably haven't got children, but having to think about what is there you can actually do that's free that make you happy. What makes you smile that doesn't actually involve money? And just remember that they're the things that really matter, because, you know, money doesn't buy happiness. Your state of mind is what makes you happy, not what money gives you. Well, not what money does. I mean, what does money actually do when you've got it? It's a bit of paper, some coins, possibly a bit of plastic because it's in a card in a bank account, you know. But when you hold it, how does it make you feel? It doesn't make you feel happy, does it? When you spend it, sometimes it makes you feel guilty. You know, and depending on what you're spending your money on, how happy does that make you feel? If you're buying a lot of the same thing, does that really make you happy? Because you still keep buying it. And are you happy when you, or do you know, if you keep buying the same things over and over and over, is it happy or is it habit? You know? But yeah, it's just a case of literally, you know, working out what's actually happy for you and stop obsessing over money, whether it is your money, someone else's money. Stop thinking that, you know, you need it to make you happy, because it won't make you happy. And if people are trying to convince you that it makes you happy, or are only around you because you might have money to spend, then, you know, what kind of people are they really? They're you know, just suggest that they might be there to use you for what you've got. Okay, now we've got the 8 of Wands that's come out to the side, so in a challenge position, and we've got the King of Wands. I don't know which way he was up, but I've got him in the upright because that's what I'm going to say. I'm pretty sure he was in the upright. So that 8 of Wands, clarifying that 10 of Swords. So it's suggesting that you may have, or potentially, then you could be thinking that you've got some sort of inheritance that might be coming your way, but you're not sure. It could be a bit of a challenge as to whether or not you're going to get that inheritance. Okay, so maybe it's something where you might be expecting it, but you're not 100% sure, or the thought of it has got you obsessing potentially that what are you going to do with it? Is it going to make you happy when you get it? But you might be counting your chickens, kind of thinking, oh, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z when all this money comes in. But then you've got that feeling of, well, when's it actually going to come in? You know? Now, you've also got that King of Wands, which is suggesting that you... so how your finances are at the minute, it's a lesson for others. So share what you know. So if you are learning about stopping being obsessed with money and that it doesn't make you happy, you know, it's suggesting that you pass that wisdom on, or that you may be passing that wisdom on to others. But you may have a bit of a challenge with regards to where these, with regards to this inheritance. Maybe people are trying to tell you that you'll be better off, you'll be happier when this money comes in, and it might be causing you some issues there. Now, in your blockages, we've got this 9 of Wands, and that is currently in the reverse. So that is suggesting that as a blockage, you don't do any investing, or if you do invest, it's on risky investments. Okay, so yeah, maybe whatever you're investing your money into is very risky, or you're just not investing at all. So maybe you've got some money and you're just wasting it. Maybe you're spending it a lot on things that won't help in the long run, or into people that aren't really a worthy investment potentially. Now we've got the King of Pentacles that's coming out as a challenge for that, and we've got an Empress as well. Now that King of Pentacles, now he's suggesting that as part of that blockage, that you're unsure whether or not you can actually provide stability. So because you aren't quite sure, or because you're not really investing, or you're spending all your money and you've got nothing to invest, it is making you unsure on whether you can be stable and whether you can provide stability or have stability in your life. So yeah, so your challenge is to learn to invest your money safely, or at least save some money for potential investments, whether that is investments into things that you're going to purchase later on, whether it is investing it into people or into yourself. But it is suggesting that you do need to do something to try and to do that. Now, part of that blockage and challenge is the fact that you don't think you can be stable. So you'll probably find once you do start being able to save and invest things safely, you'll start to feel a little bit more stable as well with regards to that. Now, it's also suggesting with this Empress that part of your blockage as well is that you may have really big goals that you are trying to achieve, instead of aiming for a little thing, little step at a time, setting yourself mini objectives. You're going in for that big, this is what you want to get to, and you want to get to it as soon as possible. But maybe it's something where, I don't know, maybe you want to buy a house and you're trying to save up your money to buying a house, instead of setting yourself a goal or objectives of, I don't know, you're going to make X amount of money, you need to find a new job, or try and find a second job to supplement that income. Once you've got that, you'll be able to save X amount per month, and then you get your first objective, then you get your next objective, then your next objective over. Once you've saved X amount a month, your first objective, get to £1,000, get to £2,000, and keep doing objectives, little objectives. And when you hit those little objectives, give yourself a little reward. But this is suggesting that you're not doing that. You all or nothing, kind of. That's what you're planning on doing, literally all or nothing. It's the whole, I'm going to get myself as much money as quick as I can, but you've not really got how you're going to get there. You just decided that's what you're going to do. You've not really put in your step-by-step plan of how you're going to get to it. You just know you want to get to it. Okay, so that is a big challenge for you. So that, again, if you start putting in a plan, step-by-step plan to get there, you'll see yourself becoming more stable, because you can see yourself achieving what you need. So then that will no longer be quite so much of a challenge for you. Now, with your core beliefs about what you money and what's contributing to a blockage, you have got this Ace of Cups. Now that, again, is in a challenge position. So that Ace of Cups is suggesting that you don't actually know what is. So if there's a new opportunity, you don't know whether or not to take things. You don't know whether to look at it when it's offered. You don't even look at them. It's like new opportunities. You just blink at it and you don't understand why you might have them. I mean, when it's in the upright, it is suggesting that, when you do get new opportunities, you take a careful look at them and decide whether it's for you or not. When it's in the reverse, it's that you've missed an opportunity. But when it's in a challenge position, it's like you don't know whether or not you want to take opportunities, whether or not you want to start something new. You don't even want to look at them. Maybe you think that things should be just handed to you instead of you actually searching for them and looking into things. Maybe you could have been brought up to be somebody that is, you get what you're given kind of thing, instead of seeking it out and making changes yourself. Or you could just be very much thinking that you've already got the best hand that's been dealt for you and it's not going to get any better. And that could be very challenging, which is potentially why, this is contributing to that blockage, because you can't see what you could be doing, because it's like you don't understand it. You're completely confused. Maybe you are not great with numbers. Maybe you're not great with finances, but you could always seek help from somebody, possibly your parents. Maybe looking to them for some advice. Now we've just had the Chariot jump out to clarify that Ace of Cups. Let's get one more, please, Spirit. And we've got the Four of Pentacles as well. Okay, both clarifying that Ace of Cups that's come out in the side. So that Chariot is suggesting that, that you potentially need to choose a path, and try not to second guess it. So it could very well be that you don't want to look at something because you think you're already on the right path and you're not going to second guess it. You might think that, the money that you've got, or say for instance, you're in a job and you don't think that you could change jobs. You're not second guessing it because you think that you're already in the best job for you and that you don't need anything else. Now that Four of Pentacles that we've got is also saying that, you fear financial loss because you think if you haven't got money, you'll be lonely. And you think that maybe you need to spend out on people to stop you from being lonely. Now, you need to remember what is important to you in life, what actually makes you happy. Because if you've got people in your energy that only want you because you're spending money out on them, you need to sit there and think, in the long term, do you want them in your energy? Do you want them around you if they're relying on you to spend on them all the time? How happy would it make you to be the person that is always doing all the providing? How happy would that make you to be the person that is relied on all the time to do everything? Because you probably find that it could be a bit of a burden, but this is suggesting that you're already at it. You don't want to look at any other options. You don't think that you can have other options. It could even be that you think that somebody else should be doing this for you, that they should be providing for you potentially, and you don't want to see it in another way. But it's very much of, the opportunity could be there for you to have a give and take opportunity where, it might be something where, you might find a new job. You might be around people that not only would they expect from you all the time, but they don't expect from you. And it's like a 50-50, because let's face it, even friends as well as partnerships, even family relationships, it shouldn't be one person giving all the time. It should be 50-50. It should be equal. And if it's not equal, then it's not really a balanced friendship or partnership or, family life either. It shouldn't be one person giving all the time. But you seem to be under the impression that, that might be something that has to happen, and you can't really shake your belief with regards to that. You're not willing to look at it as such. or you don't want to look at it, or you're just finding it really hard to look at it from an alternative perspective. Now, what you've got to help at the moment, we've got another challenge card. So we've got the moon that's coming out on its side. Now, that moon is pretty much saying that you don't know, how do we put it? When she's in the upright, it's saying that, you know, you're aware that, you know, some dreams can be, you don't need much money for some dreams. When it's in the reverse, you're expecting, you know, to use a lot of money to make your dreams come true. You don't know at the minute. Well, this is what you need to change. You need to decide what it is you want, what your dreams are, and you can then work out what it is that you need, because it's very much that some dreams don't take much money to come true. You know, some dreams may take a lot of money to come true. If you want to go and move abroad, you know, and you want a fancy house, that's going to cost you a lot of money. If you want to move into a little rented accommodation, that might not cost you as much money. But either way, you could still be moving. You know, it's completely looking at how you want to do it. Can you change what you want? Can you adjust what you want so you still get the same thing, but it's slightly different and it would cost you less? So we've got the 9 of Pentacles. That came out in the reverse to clarify that. Let's get one more card for clarification, please, Spirit. One more card, please, Spirit. Okay, so we've got Justice has popped out as well, and that's in the upright. So that 9 of Pentacles then, excuse me, is suggesting that money doesn't actually come to you like you'd like it to at the moment. You do need to make some wise choices with regards to it. You may also feel like you've not got the greatest luck where money is concerned as well. Okay, but once you've decided on what you want with this moon, you may find that that perspective may change, because what you want might not be as expensive as you're expecting it to be. Okay, so it's deciding what it is that you want. What are your dreams? You know, how much are your dreams going to cost you? Is it, like I say, if it's just a move, that could be your dreams. Can you get it? You know, what kind of house do you want at the end of the day? Or, you know, does it matter as long as you're moving? You know, if it's something where you want a car, does it have to be a brand new car, or could it be a second-hand car? Second-hand ones are always cheaper. You know, they're going to still get you from A to B. You know, it's all that sort of thing. Literally having a good think about what it is you want. Now, the Justice card is also suggesting that if you do come across a new opportunity, that you need to check it out, do a lot of calculations to decide whether or not it is going to improve your situation. So potentially over here, when you're not really wanting to look into things, you know, it could be very much of, you don't want to look into things because you might find it too hard to look into things, or you just don't want to put the time and the energy into it, so you're not bothered. It could be that you're not wanting to work out just what it is that particular new opportunity is going to cause you, which again could be this whole paying out constantly for, you know, something that doesn't necessarily make you happy, especially if you think that you're going to be lonely. Maybe it could very well be that what you're investing in is a person, you know, and you're not looking at other opportunities out there because you don't want to be lonely. But this is suggesting, you know, do have what is that costing you? What is your not wanting to be lonely costing you financially? And is there something that you could be doing instead that won't cost you as much? I mean, it could very well be that maybe you're doing a lot of dating and you're constantly paying for dates. You know, do you need to? Fair enough, it's investing your time and your energy. What about the other person sharing the load? It doesn't have to be one-sided. And if they won't pay, what kind of person are they? And do you want to be with them for the rest of your life? And that's something that you'd need to, you know, high risk as such, work that out. What is it going to mean for you in future if you stay with that person? Now, if you manage to overcome your blockages and improve your situation by, looking into things a little bit better, you know, actually working out what it's going to cost you, making a choice, and making the wisest possible choice, your outcome, we have this Fool in the reverse. Now, this is suggesting that any irrational spending you may have been doing because of emotions may calm down. So if you are if you do a lot of retail therapy, for instance, you know, if you get stressed or sad and you go and buy a lot of things, that should calm itself down when you've worked out what it is you actually want. You know, and work out the risks that are involved, you know, the money that's involved with it. It would suggest as well that you'd also get on top of your finances a little bit. But yeah, any irrational spending will calm down. Again, if you are somebody that literally spends because you're either angry, or you spend because you're sad, or you spend because you're happy, any kind of emotional spending, it could even be emotional saving. Sometimes when people are really happy, they go, yeah, I'm going to go and put this £200 in the bank so they don't touch it. Or they could think, I'm really sad, let's go and, I don't know, go and buy myself a takeaway that costs you 30 quid. Again, that's emotional spending. You know, yeah, fair enough, you've got to eat, but you could have made something yourself in your house that might have cost you 3 or 4 quid compared to 30 quid. You know, it's that kind of thing. So if you, once you've worked out what it is that you want and you've managed to calm down on this whole not having money is going to make you lonely, you've made your choices, you know, you've just kind of starting to take that step-by-step approach to getting what it is that you've decided you want, instead of going, I'm going for this, I'm going to go straight in for it, I need to get there as quick as I can without any direct plan. You know, this should start easing up. Now we've got the 2 of Wands in the reverse to clarify that Fool. Get another card as well. So that card, that 2 of Wands, is suggesting that, you know, you do need to make a decision on, not necessarily make a decision on where you want to go to, but at least make some sort of plan. It doesn't have to be what you want right at the end of things, but at least having that, you know, idea of where you potentially want to go. We've also got the 6 of Cups in the reverse as well. And that 6 of Cups is suggesting that you need to, again, decide on what feels good with regards to what makes you happy. You know, what actually makes you happy in life. Is it spending out on other people? Is it, you know, just spending time and your energy with people, not necessarily your money? What actually makes you happy? What makes you feel good with regards to your money? You know, and potentially as well, maybe giving the odd gift, whether that is to a charity or whether that is to a person. But it is suggesting that you'll be able to do that because your emotional spending will cut itself down. You know, you'll be able to give gifts to people. You'll be able to, if spending your money on somebody makes you feel good, you'll be able to treat them. If spending your money on you makes you feel good, you'll be able to treat yourself. Right, let's get you, I'm going to get you an Angel of Abundance card as well now to see if there's any more messages from Spirit. Can we get an Angel of Abundance card for Leo, please, Spirit? Yeah, I suppose probably one of the easiest ways of looking at things is, deciding whether or not what actually makes you happy. Does it cost you a lot of money? If it's spending time with friends and family, does that make you happy? Does that cost you a lot of money? If it's spending time, I don't know, reading a book, that don't cost you much. I mean, it might cost you a little bit to get the book, but the time you enjoy reading that book doesn't cost you much. If it's something where you enjoy music, listening to different stations might not cost you much. There's always a couple, there's little festivals out there as well that might make you feel good, that you might want to go to. Some of them are cheaper than others. But yeah, it's just having a look around. Okay, so we've got take a divinely guided chance as your Angel of Abundance card. Okay. All positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk, and you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories. As you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar but no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. Okay, so whether that is you changing a job, whether that is you changing a spending habit, it's you leaving that behind. It might be uncomfortable to start with. Let's face it, changing things like that can be uncomfortable. But if it's no longer appropriate for you, make room for new, more meaningful opportunities. Okay. I hope that has helped some of you Leos out there. Good luck and thank you for joining me.
If you liked this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe so you get notifications when I post any more. Thank you.